Honey Scrapping in my own private Idaho, and today we are on layout number 4 of Christy's Beautiful Life, series number 18, and we have a beautiful layout today that we're going to make. It is by Diana Venderlist, and this is her layout. You can see that she has done stitching, but I am not going to do stitching today, but I will show you how I did this fun background. And I used only my Stampin' Spots and a little bit of water and some watercolor paper. Because I have watercolor paper in my stash, anytime I use my inks in this way, I use watercolor paper because I do throw water on there. And I have showed this in the past, so I won't go ahead and show you today. But this is what I created, and I've created the second page because I'm not for sure if this is going to be a 2-page layout or not. I'm trying to see if, can you see the bottom of this page? Let's see. I'm going to mess with the screen a little bit. I never know. So, okay. So, anyway, I used 3 colors. I used a mess mat and water and just spritzed it, and I always keep my bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is the best because then you get darker colors in there. So this is Melon Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and Berry Burst, and those were the colors in the pack. The pack that I'm using today is from Stampin' Up. It's DSP from Stampin' Up. It is called Friends of the Ocean, and I will bring in those colors for you. Another pack that kind of has the same feel is called On the Go, and it is a very bright pack. There's 12 sheets, and I'm showing you all the different patterns. So there's half of these are on the back and half are on the top. I'm just showing it to you. So it is on the last chance sale. I will leave my information if you don't have a Stampin' Up person. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'm realizing I didn't bring my stencil over, and I did want to show you that, but that's okay. Okay, so the first thing I did was I'm going to go ahead and show you that I have a 12 by 12 Melon Mambo cardstock, and it's a textured cardstock. It was older paper before we got the two-tone. And you can see that I gutted it because from this in the middle, and I've showed you how to do that in the past, where you just take your trimmer and you trim off the lines. And the reason I do that is so that I can use the middle. And I was already using a white base for this, so I was okay with that. And so I used this, is where this came from. And I will probably do some sort of grid. I'm not for sure if this is going to be the first page of the album or if I'm going to make a 2-page layout. So I'll decide that later. And let's go ahead and resort back to this. I also used this glimmer paper. I used the bottom for Belize, but I was noticing it's really hard to see the top of this, the top of my Z for whatever reason. And I moved some stuff back and forth in the hopes that it'd show up a little bit better, but it is not going to cooperate with me. Okay, so this is a 1-page one, and I haven't gotten my pictures of my family. They did a little mission to Belize and went and worked on a preschool, I believe. They went with a church group. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So I want to show you how I made this. So I'm going to show you the piece of paper that I used. So this piece of paper right here, let's move this from off. And I had a stencil. So instead of stenciling the sunburst, I cut it out. And as I was cutting it out, I thought, I'm going to use the whole piece of paper. So I went ahead and did that, and I trimmed it at 11. So you can see that I laid my stencil up on the top, and then I cut out these little pie shapes. And then I placed it on here, and this is 11.5 by 11. So because if I put it on as a companion page, it's kind of hard when you don't know what pictures they're having, but Chrissy's Beautiful Life is going on, and I thought, well, this is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my base down. This is going to go very quickly. And, okay, oops. I always struggle when I put this down. I'm going to put it at a 1/2 inch. Oh, no. Sorry, it's at a 1/4 inch. The top and bottom is a 1/4 inch because it's 11.5. Quarter inch right there, 1/4 inch at that side, and a 1/4 inch. So I think I cut it at 11.5 by 11 3/4. That sounds about right. Okay, so following my sketch, I don't know if you can see my sketch. There are a couple strips of paper. So I wanted to find, I had a really cool embossing folder, but of course I couldn't find it. I'm going to make sure this is straight since it's the base of mine, and I'm going to start it off at 1/2 inch from the bottom. You know what, actually I'm going to move it up at 3/4 because I want at least a 1/2 inch of my really cute. And I traced this down at the bottom too, and I liked how that looked as well. Okay, got to get my head out of the way here. Our house has all these windows, but it can be pretty dark in here. I'm thinking I'm going to bring some lights in next time. And okay, so I'm going to, that's at 11 3/4, that's at 3/4 up. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down. And then I have, on the sketch, it looked like she had embossing. That would look so good on there. I had this embossing folder that had coral reef, but I couldn't find it. All right. There's some other bright colors, and then I'm going to overlap. If you look on hers, she has the picture just overlapping a little bit, and I used a 4x6. I could very easily, I'm going to attach this down very lightly, because I might, if it's a great picture, I might make it a 5x7. But that is definitely a size that you could use. If you had more pictures, you could do a collage. Now I'm going to, because my Z did not show up very well, I'm going to put my coral reef right down here, and I want it to overlap that, and this is Lost Lagoon. I want to say this is Limeade. Stampin' Up! Has 2 names to their things. It's like, I'm lucky if I remember one word, let alone 2. So I'm going to put that there. And I'm actually going to put some foam tape under Belize. And that way it will be super easy for me to slide my pictures underneath when they come. I've been trying to get out of the habit, and you see that I'm just leaving these dangling because I like that look. And I have been trying very hard not to make a bunch of layouts without pictures because I am a procrastinator and it doesn't get done, and then it's kind of pointless. And then I'm going to pop this little crab up, and he is going to be after my my letter E. Okay, so I'm using foam tape from the dollar store. This is very thin. Do I want to use it thicker, or let's see how white it is. Yeah, this is pretty good. So I'm just going to put that there. And what I do normally is do I have something to cut? You can tear this, but do I really want to tear it? I don't think so. So I'm going to put that there. And right there. Oops. So my granddaughter was the one that wanted to go to her friend. I think one of her friends said, "Oh, there's a police mission trip," and so she was going to go with them, and then they needed a driver. So then my son-in-law went, and it had always been my daughter's dream for all of them to do something like this together, because they used to do a lot of church work together. So that was great fun, and it turned out wonderfully. So, and actually, I'm trying to decide whether I want to include. So one of the things that they did to help fundraise is we had this huge garage sale, and the day that we had the garage sale, it poured. And we live in Idaho, and it doesn't normally. I mean, actually, this time of year it can be pretty rainy. But I thought, oh boy, we're not going to do very well. But God just blessed us, and even though it was horrible weather, we had like 1 or 2 hours, and they were able to raise enough money for them to go. My granddaughter, she works, and so she was quite happy to, I'll just pay it myself. But they also had an opportunity. So the place that they go, they work at the school, but they also, you can see my shadow. I wish. Let me see if I can kind of do it from the side, and that the shadow's not bad. So that, so, but so they had this very rainy garage sale, but they had a goal, and they met that goal even though it was raining. And my son-in-law was able to sell a few things out of the house that we kept around for a while, and there was also some. So it was just such a blessing, and it was good for my granddaughter to see that when you step out on faith, God always provides for us. So that was really a wonderful opportunity. Okay, so, and then we're going to do this. My granddaughter was taking Spanish, but of course in Belize they don't speak Spanish, so yeah. But maybe she got to practice her Spanish on the way. I'm not for sure. But I'm hoping they have a good trip. She was super nervous about it, but it's all good. It's all good. So I hope, let me tell you a little bit about Christy's Beautiful Life. So Christy's Beautiful Life is a 30-day challenge. Each day there is a sketch, and people post their sketches on Christy's Beautiful Life after they make them. So today is this day, so we're all playing along with day number 4. If you get behind, usually on day number 4, I'm on day number 1. But you can play along, and you just post them, and it's so fun to see what everybody else does and what they use with their materials. And since I'm a Stampin' Up! Person, it used to be close to my heart, and there's always several people that have those papers, so you get to see what other people are doing with your supplies. So it's great fun. And see my Z, the top of this Z, for whatever, I changed the color, and I thought, well, it's not even on the back of yellow. I don't know why it doesn't show up, but it is wanting to be super hiding. And I thought I was actually packing today for a fun little scrapbooking adventure, and I found this glitter paper, and I thought, well, that is perfect. So what I do, people often ask me how, it's like, you do so good on how do you know what to do with a sketch? So what I do is I start thinking about the sketch. I'm either scrapbooking or I think that's a saying of some sort, not about scrapbooking, but about other things. So I'm either scrapbooking or I'm thinking about scrapbooking. So I get up in the morning, I look at my sketch, and then when I'm cleaning and doing all the things, I think, what could I do with this sketch? But I sure have enjoyed this sketch. Thank you, Diana, for making it. So now I'm going to do this crab. He is very interested in, and I don't want to make it so that it doesn't look like an E, but he does want to go visit the E. And I think I bought these little gems. I think if they're small enough, I'm going to stick black eyes on him. I would like to do Google eyes, but and I do say that everything is better with googly eyes, but sometimes you just can't do the googly eyes. Sometimes it's just no. It would be just a big no. Okay. So let's see what you think about the googly eyes. Oh, that is so cute. I found these when I was cleaning too. Clean out your stuff. Oh, isn't that so? Oh, he's one-eyed. Oh no. We've had a tragedy. Oops, my crab is one-eyed. We just can't have that. We can't have a one-eyed. It's probably stuck to the bottom of my shoe. Okay, and I'm doing the thing. Okay, so see, there's my crab. He's just going to come up here and say hi to that. I'm going to get more of a square one. All right, here, Mr. Crab, you can go pinch an E. Okay, and then this is a little crab. I'm going to put him on there as well. He's going to be not popped up. This foam tape is much thicker. This is kind of the thin kind. I'm just going to use this one that I've got stuck on my table. And I think he needs his eyeballs too. Although he's going to have, those are the smallest ones I have. So this crab's going to look. And there's actually, do you see on the crab that he has like way more than two? Oh, I can see what I did wrong here, because I did not get the gluiness on there. Okay. All right. I am dot challenged. People make this look so easy that they slide it. I've taken classes and they say slide them, but I'm not going to have you sit and watch me do that. So I will make sure those eyes stay on. Okay, so I have two little crabs, and then because I had nothing better to do in my life, I cut out some of these, and I'm just going to put these up a little bit so that it adds some interest, because I do have the stuff in the back. I have the coral reef in the back, but doesn't pop up much. I'm going to pop this up a little bit so that it looks, yeah, I like that. And then there's some star things. So according to what I've read about Belize, I'm a librarian. I don't go places. I just read about them. I'm that girl. One of these days I'll be brave. I have friends that tell me, "Oh, you're retired now. We could go do all this stuff." And it's just I just like staying home. I don't know. I'm probably the most boring person in the world, but here we go. I'm gonna have that. No, that looks like his pants are on fire. You know, like liar pants on fire. We can't have that. We'll just have that up here like that. And we'll have some starfish. And I'm just gonna set those right here. And I didn't do the rule of three or anything, so I'm just plopping stuff down. All right, so that's going to be what I'm doing for today. So there is my Belize picture. There are still pictures, and I usually give if there's I have still pictures on my Facebook group, which is Joy Ani Scrap in My Own Private Idaho. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and we'll chat with you later and see you tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't know. There's for the next week or so, I may or may not get my daily challenge done. But thank you for dropping by. I appreciate so much that when you like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.